Irontrader, and this is the last call of the day. So we're going to take a look here at Bitcoin, crude oil, natural gas. But first of all, we're going to look at the XLE, which is the big oil ETF, and UGA, which is the gasoline ETF. At the end of the video, the support and resistance levels are posted for crude and natural gas. This video is for personal only, not a recommendation to buy, selling stock market ETF. Please like, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Okay, here we have the XLE. This is the big oil ETF. Now, this pays about a 3.5% dividend, and it's got everything in there. Exxon Mobil, Chevron, Schlumberger, you name it, it's in here. Okay, so it's a really good, nice basket of all the big oil stocks. Okay, so when we look at this, you can see here we just have a nice big kind of a chop situation. It's looking for some kind of a catalyst here. Okay, so what we had is we had this nice double bottom situation, came down to 82.75. Then we retested it, came out at 84.01, and she's been really ripping up ever since. Now we're right above this 8-day. You can see how the 8-day wants to roll over here, but it hasn't any as of yet. It could roll over like this, like we had in the past here, or it could just go and crank right back up again. Okay, so let's look at the downside. First of all, you want to watch that 8-day. That's at 93.04. Then we'll come down to today's low, 92.49. Then we'll look at yesterday's low at 92.10. Then we have this area right here at 91.97 level. You can see here, see how we had that nice double bottom situation. Now, if that's lost here, we just follow it right on down, 91.44 level. Then we're going to start getting into here all the key support levels, 90.58, and then we have 90.43, and then we have the 50-day. So everything around this 90 area here is going to be very, very big time support, okay? Now, on the resistance levels here, you want to look to today's high, 93.81. We looked to yesterday's high at the 94 flat, and then we're looking at that 94.82 level. Now, if we get above that, then what we do is we'll come up to this level next. We'll come right across here, okay? You're looking at 95.93, and then we have that big retest all the way up here. You're looking at 97.92 level here. Now, this is really the time of the year here, because once you break that, this is the recent high here at 98.97, and this here, if you break that, first of all you'll hit 100 obviously, then you can go to the 105, 110, and rally right on up here. But we got to see how this all shakes out. Now, remember, OPEC's got to have their meeting on Thursday, and it looks like they're going to put more oil on the market. However, all these big oil companies now are starting to get into this LNG. Okay, so I think that's going to be the next hot situation going here. So always just kind of trade the old charts here. So really what you're going to do is just watch that 8-day. If that's lost here, we're going to come down to this 90 area right here. On the upside, we want you to notch that 94.82, and then we can come up there to that 98 level. Okay, here we have the old gasoline ETF. Now, first of all, I just want to say about the gasoline ETF here. It doesn't do no big volume, okay? So you did 173,000 shares. It doesn't do a big kind of volume. However, I always get long because you're going into seasonality, okay? And that's the key here. So we had that bottom of 55.37. We retested it here with 58.54, and now we're rallying up here nicely, okay? So what we're looking at here on the upside is today's high, we had this 64.77 level. So this is where we're looking at next, okay? Just bring that price channel right across here, and you're looking at that 65.53 level. Then we just bring this price channel right across here, 66.73, and then we're going to look all the way up here at that 68.15 level, okay? So that's what you're looking at here on the upside. On the downside, everything is pretty much same way with crude. It's all jammed up like right here. So when you look at that 200-day, you're looking at that 63.03, and then all the way down to the 100-day, which is sitting at 62.63. So right in that 62.63 area, this is where I'll have all this good support. But look at where that 8-day is. You crossed over 21-day. Now you went to 100. Now we're trying to cross all the way above it. So as long as it holds that 100-day, that 8-day, I should say, 62.88, you're doing, this is going to be a sideways basically to up kind of an action. Now, this is still just coming into play here because seasonality driving is coming into play. So I just think people are going to be taking vacation. They're going to be doing traveling. UGA here is an easy way to trade on the old gasoline. Okay. Let's take a look here now at Bitcoin. Okay, here we have the Bitcoin. Now, I did scalp the IBID today. This was a very, very good trade. I am also long this. Now, you can see here where we had this possible bull flag situation. We had this channel going, possible bull, but then Friday it negated that whole bull flag pattern. Yesterday, what we had is we had this indecision candle, okay, and then today we put a nice higher high and a higher low in there, and we're sitting right above this 8-day, and now we're looking for that 21-day. Now we're looking for the old 8-day right there, okay? So this is what you want to watch. is this 8-day, that 85,844 level on the upside, and doing this 85,186 there on the downside kind of a situation. So kind of stuck right there. If we can get above that, then we're going to be looking for yesterday's high, looking at 88.50 level here. Then we can come over the top of this candle here. You're looking at 89.30, 380. But realistically, this is going to be your target. It's going to be that 92.120 level, and then possibly that 100-day above it at that 93.689. Now, trying to get through that 50-day the first try, I don't see how that's going to work, because see, look at here. Okay, see, here's the perfect example of a 50-day. Went right up. Yeah, did it go up above it? Yeah, but you notice that it couldn't close. See, look how many times that it hit it, went right into it. Very, very strong resistance level, and it came round down. So if it does rally, just watch that 50-day, take some off the table, you know what I'm saying? And then we can, you can always buy it back. That's the key level, okay? That's the key. Now, on the downside here, we want to watch is the bottom of this candle. That's 83,800, and then we want to watch today's low, 82,485, and then we want to come down here, 81,485. If we lose that, we have support levels here, but realistically, you're looking for that 200-day sitting at that 78,179 level, okay? But right now here, we just have a nice green candle, so we really have to see what the futures will bring here when they open up at 6 o'clock tonight, if it's going to pop right back up here, and same way with tomorrow, or it's just going to go sideways here and then bring it right back on down. Now, RSI here, 47, plenty of room to run. Green over red, looking very, very good, nicely. Now, weekly chart here now. Key levels here, okay? You can see this 50-day, how nice it held it. See, it held it all the way here. It held it, and then held it, okay? So far, we're holding this here nice. So this is 77,058. That's right here above, okay, this price channel right here, okay? So just above that. So it's between the price channel and that 200-day. You really need to hold that by Friday on a closing basis. That's key. Now, upside is going to be very, very strong resistance, because you see how that 8-day rolled over? You crossed over in 21-day. That's going to be very, very key. Okay, so you want to watch that 8-day simple moving average on a weekly chart, 87,781 there. That's going to be very, very key level. So if it does break this 21-day and that 8-day on a closing basis above that, then you really want to watch here this 8-day on the weekly chart. That's going to be your next upside resistant level. Okay, let's take a look here now at crude oil and natural gas. Okay, here we have the crude oil, your daily and your weekly chart. Now you can see here, we had this really nice run up off this double bottom. Now look what happened today, okay? So you didn't have that big green candle like we had yesterday, but we put this topping tail in here. So I don't know if this is going to be all done here yet or not, okay? So you're looking at 72.10. We're looking for this 200-day, okay, at that 72.79. So we got to see here. Watch those futures tonight. Watch that API report at 4:30, and that OPEC meeting on Thursday. I think that's going to be very, very key to what crude oil is going to be doing here. Okay, so this is the level that you're watching, is that 72.79. If we can get above that, then we just look right here on this weekly chart. We look at this 50-day. You're looking at 73.58. That's going to be your target then if you can crack that 200-day. Then if we get above that, we have a target all the way up here at that 76.01, which is your 100-day here on the weekly chart. Okay, so that is your upside. On the downside here, we want to watch this 100-day, 70.67. That's going to be very key. The 50-day at 70.36, and then we're going to have right here is going to be that 69.76. That is your 8-day. Now you can see the 8-day crossed over 21-day. It's heading right for that 50 as the 50 comes down, and it could be possibly break up. But again, as long as that price holds that 8-day, it's going to be sideways to up action. You start losing that 8-day, then it's going to be just like this, and it's sideways here to down action. Okay, so just remember that. So again, if it does rally, watch that 200-day. You get above that, watch this 50-day. You get above that, watch that 100 SMA. Okay, take a look here now at natural gas. Okay, here we have natural gas, your daily and your weekly. Okay, so you can see here where we had this topping tail yesterday, but where did it go? Right to the left, okay, at 425. So I always say, look to the left of the chart. That is all going to be all your resistance level, okay? And then we made a nice double top. See that double top situation? Very, very nice. Now, came down here today, broke the 21-day, came down below the 8-day, but so far it's holding it as of right now. 3.96 that's going to be key support level. Your next level here is going to be this 50 SMA here, sitting at 3.87, and then we'll do the retest right there at that 3.73 level, which is basically just the bottom of that candle, and then right here is your 361. That is your downside targets. The upside here is this 21-day at 411. You get above that, then we'll be looking again to retest this 425 level. Then obviously there's 433, 437, 442. all the way on up here. But the 425 is going to be very, very key because it's a double top. Okay, just that simple. Today we had that big ass red candle, came on down, but it was a great short there in the KOLD. I got a nice good point out of that today, and I was happy with that. Now, when we look at the weekly chart here, by Friday, you can see we're holding this key, this 200 SMA here. Let me see if I can tune that in there for you. Okay, we're holding this thing at that 396 level. Okay, that's the key. Is that 200-day is that sitting at that 396 level. Now, we're right below this 8 SMA, that's that 403. Now, if you keep on rolling on down here, you could come down to this 365 level. So we'd have to see. Okay, so that would be just right above here of the 100 SMA here. But it needs to hold that because you can see here how nice, even when it sold down, it held that 21-day, then rallied up off of that. So we got to see. But this is still a nice bullish chart on the weekly because we have that nice series of higher lows situation still going. Okay, so by the Friday, we want to hold that 396. That's that 200-day. Want to get above that 403. And then if that's all lost here, we're going to come right down to that 21-day here. So basically what you want to do is just trade this range because we had this double top. So always look for those patterns. Okay, I get double top, double bottoms, breakouts. All this kind of stuff is very, very good. I have it all in my playlist. If you, at your convenience, just go check it out. I did videos on, on candlesticks, on chart patterns, and on, seasonality charts. It's all right there at your convenience, okay? So, again, watch this 8-day on a closing basis when those futures up. If that's lost, you're going to be looking right for that 50-day and then right here to the retest, okay? If that's lost, then we come right down to the 100-day here. But watch this key 21-day. That's sitting just above that 100 SMA here. Upside here, we have to retake that 411. If you can retake it, then we can retest this 425 level. Then we can obviously go higher. Okay, that's what I got for you. I'll be back here after, or tomorrow morning, I should say, before 7 o'clock. And remember, the API report will be out today at 4:30. OPEC meeting there on Thursday. And then tomorrow, we also have the EIA report for crude oil at 10:30. So it should be a wet and wild day tomorrow, especially when you have this, I don't know what's going to go on here on April 2nd. So we got to see how that all going to shake out here with the tariff whole situation. Okay, trade what's in front of you. Now what you want.